And now we have a forum by Jacob Friedman.
I'm videoing.
The Red Sox are better than the Yankees. No, my forum will not start with, have you ever or do you like? Mine will start with an affirmative statement that is true no matter how you look at it. The Red Sox are better than the Yankees. Fair warning to all the Yankees fans out there, you might want to cover your ears because this forum is about to show up your team. I have been a Red Sox fan all my life. Ever since I can remember, I have always rooted for the Sox and any team who can beat the Yankees. For example, when I was 5 in 2003, I did not know much about the world, except that I hated the Yanks. The World Series that year was between the Florida Marlins and the Yankees, and the Marlins won. To this day, I can distinctly recall the joy of seeing the Yankees lose. The following year, 2004, was a great year for 2 reasons. First, the Sox won the World Series. Second, the Sox came out of a 3-0 deficit to beat the Yankees 4-3 in the American League Championship Series. I was sitting in front of the TV the night before the Sox won their first game in the series, and the newscaster began to interview a man with a really bushy beard. He said that he would not cut his beard until the Red Sox won the World Series, and he had hoped that they would win that year. Just about a month earlier, my great-grandmother, Franny Friedman, had passed away, and from what I have heard, she was one of the biggest Sox fans anyone in my family had ever known. She was born in 1909, so she had seen a few World Series victories, but as we all painstakingly remember, there was a drought of winless seasons for 86 years between 1918 and 2004. These two people may seem in no way related or connected, but when the Bo Sox won the next 7 games, I knew that the hopes of all those who needed to see a victory were finally being answered. Following the glorious 2004 playoffs, where the Sox beat the Angels, Yankees, and Cardinals, since it was such a momentous occasion, my dad and I went to Boston to watch the Red Sox victory parade. For some unknown reason, after the parade, we were at a bar in the Back Bay. Anyhow, as an outspoken 6-year-old, I stood up on the table, had my dad quiet everyone down, and I proclaimed, "The Yankees suck." From what I have heard, everyone in the bar went nuts. 2007 was the next year that the Red Sox won the World Series. At the beginning of the season, I had made a bet for some ice cream with a Yankees fan who thought that the Yankees would do better than the Sox. If you have listened to any of this forum so far, you could be sure that I agreed, for I knew that the Sox would do better. The Yankees got out in the first round of the playoffs, and the Sox went on to win it all. In the World Series, the Sox were up against the Colorado Rockies, and, not for nothing, if we had not won, something would have been seriously wrong. The Rockies should not have even been in the World Series in the first place, but we spoiled their luck anyhow. Unfortunately, the Red Sox have not won since 2007, and the Yankees have bought themselves 1 championship since then, so their fans would not have a hissy fit because they hadn't won 9 whole years. This season was seemingly a disgrace for the Sox, but plenty of good moves were made. Even though hiring Bobby Valentine and getting rid of Kevin Youkilis were terrible moves for Boston, we managed to unload a huge amount of our payroll on the 4-player trade to the Los Angeles Dodgers. In fact, we are now spending about half of what was being spent in August before the trade. Now the Sox management staff can make better choices on how to spend the franchise's money and on which players to spend it on. The Yankees, on the other hand, are trying to get their team payroll under $189 million so they won't have to pay a 50% tax. They are trying to do this by putting 3 of their top players on the free agent market, paying 3 of their oldest players at least $10 million a year, and 2 of their top players are injured as well. This is a bad combination that is really hard to rebound from quickly, even if you have the most money in the MLB. Last season, the Baltimore Orioles, who were predicted to be quite awful, ended up in the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Rays were fine, and the Toronto Blue Jays just completed a major trade, giving them 3 of the best players in the league. Most seasons, these 3 teams in the American League East Division are terrible, but in the next decade, they could be seen as competitors for the playoffs. This situation is not great for the Sox, but is even worse for the Yankees. This offseason, the Red Sox have access to money and free agents, and the Yankees seemingly have neither. Even though we might not be able to pull out on top in the coming year, we can start putting together a team to compete in our division. Ben Sherrington, the Red Sox general manager, has already signed a manager for the next season, John Farrell, who has worked in Boston before as the pitching coach during 2 victorious seasons. He knows our pitching staff, which just needs a little bit more fine-tuning since last season. The team has also most recently signed the big names of Mike Napoli and Shane Victorino, already has very strong fielding and batting, and will have a good position in the 2013 draft. Over the years, us Sox fans have seen the highs and lows from the Red Sox organization. However, we cannot give up hope. Despite what the fair-weather fans of the Yankees say, we are headed in the right direction, unlike where they are going to, the bottom of the American League East. We were in the wilderness for 86 whole years, and we are never going back. The Yankees will feel the heat of losing soon enough. I would like to leave you with a few baseball quotes on why the Red Sox are better than the Yankees. Rooting for the Yankees is like rooting for the house in blackjack by Adam Morrow, and I like the Red Sox and anyone who beats the Yankees, a common t-shirt. Thanks for listening.